This video is brought to you by CapBeast.com. Design your own custom snapbacks and hats.
The OKC Thunder have had their share of ups and downs this season. Primed to make a serious run with the addition of Carmelo Anthony and Paul George, remarkably, they're on pace to win the exact same amount of games as last year. And no one seems too happy about their situation. On the verge of getting knocked out of the playoffs entirely, they have a range of struggles. Carmelo Anthony is posting some of his career worst numbers on offense, and teams have figured out that they can mercilessly attack him on defense until Billy Donovan is forced to pull him out of the game. And if it's this bad in the regular season, you can only imagine what will happen once the playoffs start and teams have more time to prepare. While Russell Westbrook is again averaging a triple-double, his efficiency is a problem, where he ranks in the 31st percentile overall. Of the 63 players who have used at least 1,000 possessions, he ranks 60th, above only Ricky Rubio, Josh Jackson, and Dennis Smith Jr. He should get credit for cutting down his turnovers, although the ones he does commit are real doozies that would make any coach scratch his head in utter confusion. And while he's cratered again from the three-point line, at least he's only taking 4 a game compared to over 7 last year. But the real concern for the Thunder over the last 20 games has been Paul George's jump shot. Through the first half of the season, he was scorching at 43% on over 7 attempts per game, and it was the extra fuel to the fire that made the Thunder relevant and legitimate threats as he was playing elite defense and providing spacing for the rest of the team. However, his jump shot has gone AWOL recently, getting to the point where he was commenting on it to the press. Never a good sign.
Got to figure out something mechanical in my shot. I've had struggles throughout the season in my career of shooting, but I don't know what it is. It feels funny. Shooting ball feels funny.
Let's go through some numbers to give you some context as to what's going on. Overall, he's below 29% on his threes the past 20 games. But let's first divide these shots into 2 categories: catch and shoot and off the dribble. As you can see, there's not a whole lot of difference between the two. And one thing that gives me pause is that he's shooting better on guarded shots versus unguarded. That is certainly indicative of a player who's struggling with their confidence and is thinking too much. Which is why there's one thing that might help Paul George get out of this funk. And it could help you as well if you're feeling less than confident about your hair or your skin or your sexual prowess. And that's why Hims is your one-stop shop to take care of hair loss, skin care, and sexual wellness. There's no awkward doctor's visits or spending time in a waiting room. Just answer a few quick questions and their doctors will review and prescribe, plus ship right to your door. While Paul George is going through some tough times, it doesn't mean that you have to. So order now and you'll get a trial month of Hims for just $5 while supplies last. Though I'm not positive that your jump shot mechanics will improve with Hims, I bet you'll find that confidence again. And so would Paul George, who clearly is lacking that soul glow. And how does that issue creep into the mechanics of his jump shot? For one, on a majority of his misses, he rebends his elbow on the release, almost as if his body is trying to pull the shot back. While much has been made about the follow-through and whether it's truly important or not, when you compare these types of misses, the kind where it almost feels like he didn't want to shoot them based on his elbow reaction, to his follow-through when he makes his shots, you get a pretty clear picture that holding his arms straight after the release seems to make a very real and distinct difference. On a related note, the arc of his jump shot also seems to vary between makes and misses. The debate between optimal arc rages on. Some say 45 degrees and others, like me, say 50. But on many of these bad misses by PG, his arc appears to be too high, like he's trying to splash these down into the ocean. And it's too difficult to control a shot consistently once you get above 50 degrees. There is evidence with his makes that someone with his body type is better when he releases with less arc. And the final issue is that when he has to be the primary playmaker when Russ goes to the bench, the quality of his shots drops into an abyss. Thanks to NBAWowie.com, we can see that over the last 20 games, George is shooting 33% from 3 when Russ is on the floor with him. That's not good, but it's a whole lot better than the 11% he's making when Russ sits on the bench. And it's clear that the offense isn't working well enough to generate him better shots. Raymond Felton just isn't the guy who's going to draw the defense's focus and clear up easier shots for George. In the end, what does this mean for OKC? Does Paul George leave in free agency? Are they back to square one with an over-the-hill Melo and a Russ who's on his way out of his prime? While adjustments could be made to get them to squeak into the playoffs, it seems like a first-round exit is inevitable anyway, leaving that as the absolute worst-case scenario based on the high hopes at the beginning of the season. And if that happens, the Thunder might put everyone on the table, including Russ, ending a once promising era in Oklahoma City.
What are you waiting for? Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can! Just do it!